It's 8:30. Welcome, everybody. 25 straight months of year-over-year gains in home sales means tight inventory for those who are looking to buy. And surprisingly, though, in July, the number of new homes that sold fell more than 14%. Peter Murphy is a real estate consultant with Home Encounter here in Tampa. Good to see you. Welcome back.
Thanks. Good to be back.
What's the problem? You've got one answer.
I do. Prices. For new inventory, that product is just too expensive. It's far more than what the average home buyer, certainly in Tampa, but nationwide, can afford. It's up in the mid $200,000 range. And in order to afford a home of that price, you've got to be making a household income in the $80,000 to $90,000 a year amount.
Right.
And for a lot of people, that's just too expensive. Compare that with what we're selling existing home sales for, where prices are still in the $160,000, $170,000 mark. It's just far more affordable to go existing.
What do you say then to new home builders?
Well, they
come down on your prices?
Yes, they've really got to. You know, and it's hard for them because they're trying to create a product that's different than existing home sales. And existing homes are older, they don't have the nicer finishes,
right.
they don't have that new car smell anymore, you know?
Right.
So new homes have that luster and appeal, and they want to try and make them real nice to attract a whole new buyer segment. But the fact remains is Tampa's median income is just not high enough to afford your home prices, new home builders. So as long as you want to appeal to the masses, if you want to appeal to the masses, you're going to have to come down on your prices and make them more comparable with existing home sales.
You were telling me going into this, you're not bothered too much by interest rates?
Well, really not. I think it's a red herring. I think everyone throws out interest rates as the reason why new home sales are down. And we've got to remember that at the peak of the market, interest rates were almost double where they are now, and people were buying homes like they're candy. So it doesn't really have a dramatic impact. And when I work with buyers, what never happens is this: oh, did you hear rates are going up? Let's quickly buy something right now. What they're looking for is the right home. And if interest rates are up a half a point, even a point, we're not seeing that really affect the median home sale buyer. It does affect the jumbo home sale buyer because a point in interest has a dramatic impact on what their monthly payments are. But on the average home price, that's not a huge impact. And most folks are just looking for that right home.
Right.
So if the builders have the right home for buyers, there will be demand for it.
Who is this good news for then?
Well, it's a mixed bag. You know, I think it's good news for the Tampa market, certainly for the national housing market. When we're in a state where we have high demand for homes, that's always good. And so here we are, high demand for homes at the right price. And we don't have high demand for homes at irrationally high prices where people can't afford. So folks are getting smarter, and that's a good thing for the housing market. It's not great news for builders because they've got to figure out how to build a product that the average home buyer can afford.
Right.
So it's a mixed bag in that sense. But overall, the housing market is still moving in the right direction. And we don't want super high sales of all kinds of homes. That's not sustainable. There is not an infinite demand for homes out there. So people have just got to make sure they're matching supply with demand.
One of the things you and I have talked about before here, and I guess it's still going on, is the investors who are coming in and buying properties. You still seeing it happen?
It's crazy. It's still crazy out there, and what's driving the majority of sales and demand in that low price sector, really up to that median price sector, is still investors. It hasn't been first-time home buyers or owner occupants in a while. More than half of the housing market is still all cash buyers, and that's what's driving our strong demand and our strong price ramp up in that lower price housing market sector.
Hey, always good to have you here, shedding some light on everything.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you. Take
Great
care.
to be with you.
Have a good week.
You too.